Okay, should be live. Alright, normalize that. How's that? Okay, we're good. You can mute that. I'll just let myself be audible. It's okay. Let's go at everyone. SACing Mal Eternal 1996 Part 2 as promised. Alrighty, close that out. And then swatch over. Okay, hello everyone. I am Sacrabolic, your envoy of hope, and welcome yet again to the worst show I make, SACing Mal Eternal, the show where we go through every anime on the entire Mal anime database list, and we find out what anime has ever come out that is worth watching. And we are, of course, picking up where we left off 2 days ago in summer of 1996, because we didn't make it all the way through 1996 because it took 2 hours before. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I got a lot of stuff still to do today. It is very late at night. But I said I would do it, and I'm doing it. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to try and just get on with it and get through this as quick as possible. So, starting off in summer 1996 with Akachan to Boku. If I recall, there's about 62 anime to read. So, Baby and Me. Takuya Inoki is living a difficult life for a 5th grader. His mother passed away in a tragic car accident a few months ago, forcing him to pick up the slack and take care of his baby brother Minoru. As his father works endless hours, typical of a Japanese salaryman, he'll have to sacrifice his childhood in order to meet the needs of his little brother. Cooking, cleaning, worrying, and trying to discipline Minoru are some of the tasks Takuya will have on his plate, all while their neighbors blame him for Minoru's constant crying. Meanwhile, he'll watch as his friends live their carefree lives, enjoying their free time. It may not be easy, and there will be plenty of stumbling blocks, but along the way, he may actually learn the true meaning of family. Okay, that sounds sort of heartbreaking. I can understand why someone would enjoy this, but I feel like this isn't me. I feel like this is not set for me. Okay. Next up we have Kochiro, Katsushikaku, Kemari, Konmei, Hashutsujo. Alright. Ryotsu is an underpaid policeman, is always coming up with underhanded schemes in order to make a quick buck, but in the end, his plans, which are ridiculous to begin with, always go wrong and land him in big trouble with the chief. So, fun fact about this. I probably mentioned this before, but this is... I'm actually surprised to see it only has 373 episodes, because this is based off of the longest running manga of all time at 1957 chapters, I suppose. I actually thought it was longer than that, but regardless, yes, this is the longest running manga. So yeah, surprised that the anime only got 373 episodes. Guess it tired as an anime before it tired as a manga. Anyway, Ganbarist Shun. First-year high school student Fujimaki Shun has a dream of becoming an Olympic gold medalist as a gymnast. Having no previous training, Shun trusts his passion, boldly joins the gymnastics club, and sets out to pursue his goal. Along the way, he meets his share of entertaining and supportive upperclassmen, develops a romantic interest in his classmate, and learns about the happiness involved in devoting yourself to a sport. Alright, moving on, we get through the continuing section. Gunsmith Cats we already read. Birdie just started, I believe. Tetsuan Birdie, Birdie the Mighty. This is a relatively famous anime. Tsutomu, an average middle school kid busy studying for the final exams to enter high school, runs into a man running from someone and gets caught up in the chase. In all confusion, he gets accidentally killed. Luckily, Birdie, an interplanetary agent, knows a way to save him. Unfortunately, that means joining bodies to become one, so now he's stuck with this officer and is along for the ride for capturing criminals and saving lives. I'd already marked that watch. to watch. Slayer's Specials. Probably guess what this is. Slayers, the Book of Spells. And these 3 self-contained half-hour stories, Lena Inverse and her partner Naga the Serpent take on a variety of jobs for quick cash, food, and their own skins. The first episode, The Scary Chimera Plan, pits them against a lunatic musician who intends to use Lena to create a fearsome spell-slinging monster. Then, in Jeffrey's Knighthood, they're hired by an overprotective mother to see that her son, a young man barely capable of holding a sword, becomes a respected knight by helping him fight off the marauding soldiers terrorizing the area. Finally, Mirror Mirror puts the two in a race to hunt down and capture, for bounty of course, a rogue sorcerer who's found an ancient artifact that can create loyal duplicates of anything or anyone, including his enemies. So I appreciate that the description that ANN has for this just tells you what all 3 specials are. So that's actually legitimately useful. All right, what do we got now? We have Beistenwell Monogatari, Garzi no Tsubasa, or Garzi's Wing. Christopher, Chris Chiaki, is an easygoing guy who keeps failing his college entrance exams well into his mid-20s. His days are occupied with kendo practice, visits to his family shrine, and dreaming of his high school reunion. Dude, Jesus Christ, get a hold of your shit. When his spirit is suddenly transported to the world of Beistenwell, Chris becomes Garzi Wing, a legendary holy warrior. The Metomius tribe summoned him to help liberate them from slavery. I can't believe this is an isekai in 1996. That's fucking crazy. I was always assumed that Yuno was the big starter of the isekai craze, and Yuno had just come out. So this is actually really interesting. This would have had like a similar isekai timeline to Yuno, which is actually kind of fucking wild. Unfortunately, Chris has no knowledge of how to be a holy warrior, moreover, only his incredibly dull sword, which he salvaged from a corpse. To make matters more complicated, there's another Chris who's still in the normal world. He cannot control the events of Beistenwell, but is tied to the fate of the other Chris. The young man must struggle and adventure in a world of magical creatures and mysterious foreigners. You know why I'm going to watch this? Because this is the oldest fucking isekai I am aware of outside of Yuno. This is, like, wild. Like, this is a blatant-ass isekai, and that fascinates me to no end. Let's see, we read that. Chimera. I've heard of Chimera. Chimera. Osamu and Jay are 2 serial salesmen traveling for work when they encounter a barricade. Curious as to what is going on, they step out of the car and enter into a government secret. 2 mysterious demon-like men have been terrorizing the military, who came to respond to a car crash involving a vehicle carrying government research material. Inside the car wreckage, Osamu finds a beautiful hermaphrodite with gold and crimson eyes trapped in a frozen chamber. Osamu shares a kiss with them through the glass before he is forced to flee the scene. That's not a normal thing to do, my dude. Osamu and Jay interrogate Jay's father, a top researcher at a government laboratory, who reveals that Osamu and Jay saw was top secret, and they would likely be sitting in prison if it weren't for his influence. While Jay is ready to forget everything that happened, Osamu cannot let it go that easily. After stealing a security badge, Osamu finds where the person he kissed is being kept, and learns that their name is Chimera. Osamu wants to run away with the beautiful Chimera, though he does not know why Chimera is being held captive or what relationship with them means for the future of humanity. This is kind of interesting. Why the fuck do I know what this is? I've heard of this. This is character designed by Yasuomi Umetsu. That might be why. What does he do? What is he most famous for? Yasuomi Umetsu. He has his own picture on Mao, so he's someone who's done something important. He's done a lot of key animation. But I don't think I know him for key animation. That would be crazy. Oh, he was the one who directed Benmeshi Seisol. Yeah. He directed Benmeshi Seisol, and doesn't that make him the director of Kite? That makes him the director of Kite. That's what it does. That's why I know who this is. Okay, interesting. And then this is just someone. I don't know why I clicked this. This is also based on a manga. Who created the manga? Kazuma Kodaka. Is that someone I know? Who is Kazuma Kodaka? They've done, I'm assuming, a lot of yaoi. I don't think it's anything I've ever read or heard of, though. No. No. So, I'm assuming the reason I know of Chimera is from Umetsu. That would make sense. I will check this out, just because it sounds vaguely interesting, and it's, what, 47 minutes? Fine. Done. Is it really boys' love if one of them's a hermaphrodite? I mean, is it? I don't know about that. Alright, moving on. Blue Seed 2. Did I read this? When did this come out? I don't want to read this if I don't have to. When did this come out? This aired in July. No, that's a firm summer. Okay, Blue Seed 2, Blue Seed Beyond. A renegade scientist in San Francisco has found a way to create a new creature called a Neo-Origami without the power of Susanoo. When these monsters start to terrorize California, the U.S. turns to the old members of the Terrestrial Administration Center, TAC, for help. I think I have Blue Seed marked down already, don't I? Yeah. 1994. Okay, moving on then. As always, I will probably watch it, but it's a scenario where I'll watch it, like, probably all at the same time, or I'll mark in the next one after I finish the old one, so there's no point adding it now. Excuse me. Oops. Jiko Boken Numa Monja. I'm gonna be honest, I saw this girl here, and I thought it was a Raleigh. I see it says Chrono Trigger, but I was like, oh, that's a Raleigh. That is totally a Raleigh. Alright, it's the night before the fair celebrating the Kingdom of Gerdia's 1,000-year anniversary, when humans have gone to sleep for the night. Excited about the next day's celebration, the monsters come out to play. Nu and Mamo are two little monsters itching to have their own adventure in time and space, and their adventuring group, Numa Manja, is recruiting new members. Since neither is particularly strong in the brains department, their venture turns into a disaster as they get into one mishap after another. A fast drinking competition, a close encounter with a robotic cat, and a high-speed car chase. This might be more adventure than the tiny duo bargained for. This sounds, quite literally, nothing like Chrono Trigger. The only part of this that sounds Chrono Trigger adjacent is the fucking time and space shit. I almost wonder... Yeah, this says Time and Space Adventures of Numa Monja. I wonder if this originally had absolutely it was made to promote... Oh, it was made to promote Chrono Trigger. This doesn't have anything to... I guess this has... I mean, the fair celebrating Kingdom of Guardia's 1,000-year anniversary, I think, is how Chrono Trigger starts. But this is apparently the night before. This does not sound Chrono Trigger related at all. Okay, Shadow Scale 1996. I feel like I know I reviewed Shadow Scale at one point. I reviewed Shadow Scale, but I don't recall if that review has gone up or not. I think it did. When did I watch it? 2001? Yeah, that shit's up. That shit's up for sure. Okay, Shadow Scale, the movie. In a war-torn world of deadly conflict, one small group of heroes stands against the forces of darkness, armed only with two weapons. Their unswerving dedication to good and the superhuman martial art known as Shadow Scale. Yeah, wasn't it the manga I heard was actually pretty good? I hear the manga, I think, is pretty good, but the anime itself wasn't great. Moving on to... Chojin Gakuin Gao Kaiser, the Voltage Fighters, or Voltage Fighters Gao Kaiser. In the dawn of the 21st century, the cataclysmic earthquake, which reduced half of Tokyo to a broken landscape of twisted steel and shattered stone, was only the first sign of the impending apocalypse. Athletic and popular Isato Kaiza was an otherwise ordinary student, but nothing could have prepared him for the day he was given the Kaisar Stone. By fellow student Cash, alias Hellstinger. Armed with a mysterious crystal, Isato now possesses the power to transform into the armored hero Gao Kaiser. To save the Earth, Gao Kaiser and Hellstinger must join forces against Omni-Exist, the manifestation of all negative human emotions and the force behind the resistant disasters before the entity obliterates the human race. This sounds like a Super Sentai thing. Is this Super Sentai? This sounds Super Sentai. I'm going to go Super Sentai, but with gore. This sounds like a gory Super Sentai with big tits. This is gory Super Sentai with big tits. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay, moving on. What do we got? We have Maze, Bakunsu. Hold on, you can do this. Bakunetsu, Jiku. There we go. Nailed it. Maze, the Mega Burst Space OVA. Maze has an incredible powers traveling through time and space, but she's also acquired one But she's also acquired one rather large problem. Every night she turns into a really horny man. I understand that problem fully. Unfortunately, Maze must rescue an equally lascivious princess from a mysterious warrior cult. Still, the male version of Maze would rather be chasing tail than rescuing willing princesses. Is this the two versions? Okay. Interesting. She almost looks more feminine as a dude. Okay, interesting. It would be an hour to watch this. I don't know why, but yes. I don't know why, but yes. Alright, moving on. We have Future PX Cyber Formula Saga. After his disappointing loss in the last round of the 14th Cyber Formula World Prix. Okay, so that's... I was getting this confused with Future GPX Cyber Formula 0. Alright, okay, that's why I was like, didn't I fucking read this already? In the last round of the 14th Cyber Formula World Grand Prix, which causes him the championship, Hayato Kazumi decides what he needs to change and switches over to the Sugo Garland SF03 for the 15th Cyber Formula World Grand Prix, while he waits for the newest Asurata design. However, his hope to make up for the past year's letdown is difficult when Aoi Zip Formula undergoes a major reconstructing and brings in Kiyoshiro Nagumo as the president of the team. The new car that he brought to the team, driven by newcomer Phil Fritz, is seemingly unbeatable. So this is just like future race cars. Honestly, this whole franchise might be vaguely interesting. Hold on. Maybe I'll check something out. Hold on. How far back do I have to go? I would have to go to 1991 and then watch 37 episodes. No, thank you. Okay, never mind. Moving on. Shin Hurricane Polymer. Hurricane Polymer, Holy Blood. Remake of the old superhero show of the same name. The old superhero show that came out in 1974. That I was like, no, thank you. Which one was this? That's nothing. Okay. Excuse me. Go see the episode where I talked about 1970 whatever. 74. Which I think was episode 1, wasn't it? Didn't I do 0 through 79 all in one episode? I should say, didn't I do 1911 to 79 all in one episode? Excuse me. Twin Signal family game, Twin Signal. Signal, a robot companion built for Nobuhiko, is attacked by Pulse, one of its creators' previous prototypes. Reprogrammed by Dr. Otoi's mysterious rival, Pulse is loaded down with weapon and sent on a mission by Otoi. Steal the most recent robot technology and obliterate anything that gets in the way. This sounds like a Mega Man. This sounds like a Mega Man plot. This just sounds like a Mega Man plot. I like her design, though. I do like her design. She's got a really strong design. That is a South Park character. That is a South Park character. Yeah, solid character designs, but it doesn't sound particularly good. Funniest OVA ever. Maybe it's funny. I don't know. Who did this? Character design was Toshiko Sasaki. They do any other character design? They did something in 2006. They did Gallery Fake. Marginal Prints. They did a lot of stuff in the 2000s, and then it looks like they were taken off to mostly do animation direction. What is this? Owner of an art gallery, Gallery Fake. He deals with fake items, is also familiar with the black market. However, he has a special talent for art and used to work for the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York as a curator. This... Can I get more on this? Hold on. On a wharf in Tokyo Bay is a small gallery named Gallery Fake. The owner of the gallery, Fujita Reiji, was once a curator at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. He learned curator with remarkable memory, keen aesthetic sense, great skill in restorations of paintings, and knowledge of many languages. So he was called the professor. However, because of the trouble in the workspace, Fujita was forced to quit the museum. Now he's an art dealer who sells paintings, authentic and fake alike, at extraordinary prices. His motto, one without aesthetic sense can't help being cheated out of his money, and by being deceived, one may learn to distinguish the real from the counterfeit. However, Fujita is not a villain. He truly appreciates art and the artists who spend their lives to create it. He is not someone who just earns money by selling fake paintings. Sometimes he takes the paintings from a wicked politician who considers art only as a means of exchanging bribes. Sometimes he tries to restore destroyed paintings. Readers get to like him for his passion and true love of art. He often touches the lives of those who encounters and the people who are attracted to him in spite of himself. Can I be honest? Oh, award-winning. Interesting. Can I be honest? Something about this, like, gives me... I know this isn't part of the year we're doing. Something about this is giving me a good vibe. I don't know what it is, but, like, something about this, I'm like, hey, you should check this out. And I don't know why. Osamu Yamasaki did this. This was also done by Tokyo Movie and Tokyo Kids, who I've literally never heard of. Oh, they did Conan, and they did the TV version of Terra E that came out in 2007. Terra E is terrible. They did an adaptation of Ys, which I just sort of glossed over. They did whatever this is, which looks vaguely interesting. We have gone on a fucking tangent at some point. That looks like Boys Love. And then Ayakashi, which I mostly just want to know who did the character designs for Ayakashi. I was like, we got to get through this real quick. And I get immediately sidetracked. What the fuck is Battle Skipper? Something that I read in 1995 and was like, no, thank you. Okay, fair enough. What was Otogi Angel Tenshi? When did this come out? This came out in 2002, Angel Tales. Goro's down on his luck, keeps losing his job and his money. One day he meets a fortune teller outside of a pet store who predicts that his luck will change. That night, 3 girls appear in front of his apartment claiming to be guardian angels. Soon a total of 12 girls appear to help him. Each one a reincarnation of a dead pet once owned by Goro. This is somehow a comedy, fantasy, romance harem. You know what? Okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm in. And I'm into Gallery Fake. We're done. We're locking those two in for sure. I just want to see if this is Boys Love. Romance Supernatural. No, one of them is supposedly a girl. But there's only male character. What the fuck? No way this is not Boys Love. I should probably read this out loud. When he was young, Arimasa Tsuchimikado rescued an injured cat and wished it for it to become human. The cat, Kagetsu, is actually a member of the shape-shifting Koga tribe and comes to live with Arimasa. Years later, Arimasa is an uneasy presence in his village. The villagers despise him for being half fox, but he is only able to protect the rest of the village against supernatural invasion. Meanwhile, Kagetsu is going through a different period where he must choose which sex he will live in the rest of his life as. It is a process that he can only complete through sexual intercourse. What the fuck? As pressure from other members of the Koga clan opposes the wish in Kagetsu's heart, Arimasa's village is struck by a large-scale supernatural attack. With his peaceful life threatened, Arimasa will be forced to make a decision. Okay, alright, so... Okay, interesting. Okay, alright. Sure. What the fuck is Ayakashi? As a child, Kusaka made a vow upon a shooting star that he would stand on the side of justice and defend the weak. However, the death of one of his friends robs him of his desire to live up to that vow. Now he turns a blind eye to the misery of others, using the mysterious power he possesses as a means of making money instead of helping those in need. His days of living only for himself continue until he's forced to fight for his life against another classmate with power similar to him. He's saved by a mysterious girl, Aimu Yawake. Yep, fucking nailed that one. I've never been good with the letter E. Who also has strange powers. Aimu reveals that his powers stem from a mysterious creature known as an Ayakashi, a parasitic being that powers grant special abilities at the price of slowly draining the life of the host. She helps him awaken his own. Now aware of the Ayakashi he possesses, isn't this the plot of Parasite? You must live up against his childhood vow, putting his Ayakashi to use and fend off those who could use their own for evil, while unraveling the mystery behind the death of his friend. That does not sound super interesting, actually, now that I've read that out loud. But I do want to know who did the character design for this, or maybe who the artist of the original was. Original artist was Yu Konoe, although the art of this cover looks completely different than the anime art style, so I don't think this matters. Yeah, Yu Konoe did nothing I fucking heard of. But I do want to know who did the character design on this. And this was directed by Jun Takeda, who I have heard of because they did something called Divergency. God damn it, we are falling down a rabbit hole. No, I have no idea. I've probably just heard of similar name. What the fuck is this? In the 24th century, intergalactic space travel has become a reality. One of the first outposts in the far region of space is Watcher's Nest, an infiltration hole drive portal, which has recently come under attack by a mysterious force known as Ghoul. A group of young female cadets assigned to the portal are unexpectedly thrown into a hornet's nest as trouble as they finalize their training to become an elite pilot in the Seraphim Squadron. That sounds kind of cool, actually. What is this, a mecha series? That sounds actually kind of neat. Can we see the mecha? We can't see the mecha. You know what? Fuck it. I'm in. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's hurry up. Let's book it. I got shit to do. Alright, I gotta find out who did the character's design for this, though, because the character design looks really familiar. And I want to know, character design was Kazuo Takigawa? The original creator was Apricot. Character design could have also been Takahashi Kobayashi. And those two. Okay, so Kazuo Takigawa, what have you done? A lot of key animation. Still in the business, seems like. Is this the only character design you've ever done is in Ayakashi of all things? That would be crazy. Did an animation director for a Senran Kagura episode. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is mostly animation stuff. Did they only do character design one time? They did it in this 2005 thing, but I'm not going to bother to... They did a lot for this 2005 thing, actually. Wow. But this art style looks a lot more like... yeah, it would have been... shit. What's her name? Oh, the Inuyasha creator. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. What's her name? I don't know why I did that over there. Rumiko Takahashi. There we go. Yeah, this art style looks more Rumiko Takahashi inspired than Ayakashi does. Apricot. Apricot also did Deep Voice. Okay, so Apricot has the more of the art style that I was interested in. What about Takahashi Kobayashi? Who did character design for Izumo. which I vaguely heard about. I'm not going to bother to read it. We'll get to it when we get to that one. They also did character design for the hermaphrodite thing we just read. And they did character design for something that just came out. They did character design for Battle Skipper. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a really familiar... Maybe it's just a really familiar art style. It looks a lot like the art style for... I would say, like, it almost looks sort of like the Hayate no Gotoku art style, which would have been done by Kenjiro Hata. Oh shit! He also did Under the Moon. Oh, that's I did not fucking know that, actually. That's a cool thing to learn. Yeah, the art style looks kind of similar, but I guess it's just a coincidence. Anyway, Osamu Yamasaki. What the fuck were you famous for, and why were we trying to find out? Oh, because you directed Gallery Fake, apparently. You directed the Shin Megami Tensei thing. You directed that. You created Do Shinji, which is something I read in 2021 and didn't think sounded interesting. Directed Tokyo Vice and Joker Marginal City. Okay, yeah. It's probably because you directed a bunch of, like, 80s bullshit. I think most of that was 90s bullshit. Why did I click Muggy Kano? This looks terrible. If my reason was, does that look interesting? The answer is no. Okay, moving on. And then this was someone who had something to do with Twin Signal. Because I think I was looking up the character designer for Twin Signal, and we've emerged from the rabbit hole. We've done it. We've escaped from this rabbit hole. Anyway, I'm not going to watch this, apparently. This right here is Jigoku do Reikai Tsushin. Fucking nailed it. Excuse me. Tetsushi Ryochin and Shinya are youthful trio not to be trifled with. They have fearsome reputation. One day they decide to enter the Jingokudo, a store which is rumored to be the gateway to hell. I don't know why they would do that. The store's keeper sure is creepy enough. He tells them a story, and after they decide with a magical token provided by a shopkeeper to try and find the restless spirit of a murder victim in order to give her release, this is the start of their supernatural career. Okay, that sounds like nothing. Moving on. We've got an Ultraman show. We've got Ultraman show Toshi Gekidan Suisei Senjin Suifon Tojo. Nailed it. Ultraman Super Fighter Legend. From the north of the galaxy, a dreadful menace, Comet Warrior God Suifon, is fast approaching the Earth, destroying everything in its path. There awaits it Fighter Ultraman, the legendary defender of the planet, and a deadly battle is about to begin. Hey, maybe start the battle. Maybe don't wait on Earth, Ultraman. Maybe go out and fucking meet him. Maybe don't have the battle in the middle of the planet. How about that, bud? What do we got here? We have Shinron Shonin to Oshajo no Higeki. I'm not sure what this is about, but I just want to point out that this poster heavily implies that this woman is about to get her fucking head cut off by this kid. And if not, it's a bad poster. It's a spin-off of Sekai no Hikari Shinron Shonin. It covers the life of Shinron Shonin and his involvement to develop the Mahayana Buddhism branch, which was some OVA from 1992 to 1999 about developing Buddhism? Okay. Well, moving on then. Alright, what do we got? We got X 1999. We've got X 1999. X the movie. There's a TV version of this, isn't there? Did I mark this down? No, because it came out in 2001. So this is the original X then, isn't it? No, because there's a prequel OVA that came out in also 2001. And that was the sequel to Tokyo Babylon, which came out in 1992. And I have Tokyo Babylon mixed in, so I don't need to... Who did this? Clamp? This Clamp? It's Clamp. It's Clamp? This looks Clamp. It's Clamp. I thought it was Clamp. It looked Clamp. So I'm not going to watch this then. The future of the universe rests on one young man, Kamui Shiro, who must destroy either the dragons of the earth or the dragons of heaven. Two opposing armies. He alone must decide whether humanity should be destroyed to create a purified universe or whether it should be protected to preserve civilization. Do the latter one. I like the latter one better. Two oracles of the sisters, Hinoto and Konoe, foresee the coming of the dragons and predict opposite outcomes. Each sister gathers strength and ammunition to ensure her own vision for the future. However, neither sister realizes that there is one man who has an even greater power than the dragons, and that ultimately he will determine the fate of the earth. Which sister will prevail, and how does Kamui fit into their struggle? The answer to this question will forever affect humanity. Okay, moving on. We got Slayer's Return. The inhabitants of the village of Baez, forced labor in service of the World Domination Happy Zan organization, hires Lena Inverse and Naga the Serpent to drive off the invaders. Lena and Naga agree, lured by stories of elfin treasure sleeping below Baez, only to get considerably more trouble from Zien and from the treasure than they ever expected. If I go on a Slayers thing, I'll probably just watch this all at once. What is that? Jingoku Sensei Nube. Let's see. Hell Teacher Nube. Kumiko Ijima, who's one of Nube's students, recognizes that a man in a local park is really criminal wanted for murder when she remembers drawing his face from the wanted posters posted by the police. Kumiko warns her classmate Kyoko, while at the same time the man discovers the drawing with the initials K.I. written on Kumiko's drawing portfolio, and briefly sees that Kumiko wears a red ribbon in her hair. The cops chase the criminal, who crashes his car into a seal where a demon takes control of his soul. The demon is now on a killing rampage to find any girl that wears a red ribbon whose initials are K.I. That is the dumbest thing. That is the stupidest plot. Okay, moving on. We have Alps no Shoujo Heidi To Clara Hen. Condensed version of the second half of the TV series, which assuming I decided not to watch. Yep, decided not to watch it. I've recently heard solid things about this, actually, surprisingly enough. Still not going to check it out, but have heard recently decent things about this. This right here is, honestly, if I were to watch anything, I would just watch this, wouldn't I? Wouldn't that be the way to do it? Alps no Shoujo Heidi no Yamahen. This is the condensed version of the first half of the CZ series. Looks like we have a Gegege no Kitaru Daikaiju. I don't need to tell the story about Gegege no Kitaru every fucking time. Spooky Kitaru, giant sea monster. It's a cool design for a sea monster. Movie based on the 1996 anime with an original plot. Alright, cool. Moving on. We have Futare no Oji-sama. The Two Princes. This looks like they're about to start fucking. I'm gonna drop it. I'm just putting that out there. On the island of Jambe Suburna, an introverted boy is given a magic crown, and with the help of the crown, soon becomes the people's hero, known kind-heartedness. This enrages Rupia, the island's young prince, who has Suburna arrested. Okay, well, yep. Okay, moving on. Maya no Isho. No synopsis information is available. All right, this looks like a boy and his dog. Looks like a boy and his dog in the mountains. The life of the little dog. And then the dog dies, probably. Well, it's historical. So yeah, and then the dog dies. And then I'm sad. Okay, moving on. Angel ga Tondahi. The heartwarming story depicting the day-to-day life full of laughter and tears as a mother copes with her children. I just want to look at Keiko Utsumi, because I've never seen a voice actress wearing a kimono in any of these pictures. So I just wanted to give her a little look-see, because that is not common. Lost Butterfly, moving on. This is Akira Oda's graduation work at Tama Art University in 1996. Okay, interesting as a mal listing. Who the fuck is Akira Oda? They did a cooking show in 2016, and they did The Moon That Fell into the Sea in 2013, which won an award. This is a lot about a person with like only 3 listings. Graduated from the department, worked in a design company, moved to France, did some French shit, returned to Japan in 2005, lives in Tokyo, graphic designer, illustration, animation artist. Okay, interesting. So I guess she did some Japanese shit. Or some French shit. I don't know. Interesting that it has its own entry. Lupin the Third, Twilight Gemini no Himitsu. Or Lupin the Third, The Secret of Twilight Gemini. A dying one day I'm going to get back into Lupin. A dying mob boss entrusts Lupin with a diamond that supposedly is the key to a vast treasure, but then Lupin is attacked by an assassin and saves a mysterious girl from trouble. It becomes clear that there's more to this treasure than meets the eye. The problem I ran into with Lupin the Third is that part 2 is so fucking long. 155 episodes, kicking into 50 episodes, which is still not as bad as 150. Once I get through part 2, I think I'm okay. Part 3 is 50 episodes. That's rough. But then once we get to the 24 episode one in like 2015, that's okay. But holy shit, part 2 is unending. Yawara Zuto Kimi no Koto ga. Yawara Inokuma competes for Japan in the Atlanta Olympic Games that should meet with several familiar faces throughout the tournament. Didn't I mark down Yawara? I marked down Yawara. Yeah, I was like, Yawara sounds pretty interesting, so I'll just watch it. It's just a fucking Fushigi Yugi special. Nakago Shikikari Shinasai. Or Fushigi Yugi Special Watashi Yu Selection. While only a novice performer, Nakago is given a unique opportunity to play in the popular series Fushigi Yugi. However, being constantly bullied by favored actors, Miyaka, Yuki, and Tamahome makes his life miserable and even causes him to have nightmares. Amid such dreadful circumstances, Nakago strives to avoid discouragement and find the motivation to continue onward. This is related to... It's weird that it's like appear in Fushigi Yugi, because I was unaware... Oh, because it's a play. It's a play. You know what? I should watch Fushigi Yugi, and then I can understand what the fuck the plot synopsis of that is. Grand Shinchan specials. We're done. We're done with summer. We've made it to fall. Fucking thank God. Excuse me. Hanayori Dango. Absolute classic shoujo series. Weird they didn't put under the name Boys Over Flowers underneath it. Makino Tsukushi, a girl who comes from a poor family, just wants to get through her last 2 years at Itoku Gakuen quietly, but once she makes herself known by standing up for her friend to the F4, the 4 most popular, powerful, and rich boys at school, she gets the red card, F4's way of a declaration of war. But when she doesn't let herself be beaten by them and is starting to fall for one of the F4, Hanazawa Rui, she starts to see that there's more than meets the eye. Kaido Senkan Nadeshiko. Martian successor Nadeshiko. It would be Nadesco, wouldn't it? It would be. I've always heard it with a sound, but it should be Nadesco. Akito doesn't want to fight despite a childhood spent on the anime Gakigenger 3, a mech show. Is it real? Is that real? Is that real? If I put this in here... Oh, it is. It is. It came out in, Nope. No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. It didn't come out until after. Okay. Well, that's fun. Wow, they did a really good job of copying the 70s style. A mecha show, he'd rather cook than pilot a mecha. Fate intervenes when his home on Mars is destroyed and he's transported instantly to Earth mysteriously. He has questions no one can answer fully, but follows a girl from a chance meeting in hopes to discover any. The girl, Eureka, is the captain of the private battleship Nadesco, and in order to follow her, he enlists as their cook, possessing the nanite implants that allow to control mechas. He's a handy backup pilot for the mechas of the Nadesco. He joins a crew bent on avenging Mars that seems composed of only misfits, otakus, and ditzes. However, in reality, they're hand-picked experts. They take their own private war back to Mars to face the harsh reality that life might not always be like a giant mecha series. This is super famous, which was I already had this marked down. This is an interesting art style of this shot, though. I wonder who did this. This is an adaptation. No, this is original. So I wonder who did the character design for Nadesco. I promise not to dwell too long on the character design, but I am curious who did the character design. More specifically, I want to know who did that one shot. Hold on, we'll just Control F character. Keiji Goto, Nobuyashi Habara. And we'll just Control F character again. I like his description described him as a character designer, but he didn't really do all that much character. Oh, he did Elf and Bakuratsu Hunters and Gatekeepers. And he did the design for Ray Earth, and he did more Elf, and he did something called Hyper Police that comes out in 1997. We'll get to Hyper Police when we get to it. I'm not gonna first a point. And he did Real About High School. Oh, okay, interesting. He did Gearth and Dragon Knight Gaiden. Okay, I just wanted to check. I wanted to make sure in that. And this guy did Nadesco, something that came out in 1995 that I didn't think sounded worth watching. He did Sweet Mint, Machine Robo, something here, and something there, and some kid stuff in 92. Okay. Well, anyway, moving on to Taiho Shichozo. You're Under Arrest 1996. Of course, we rewatched the original OVA for You're Under Arrest on Anime Dartboard, so everyone should have already seen the first part of this. Tokyo Highway Patrol woman Natsumi and Miyuki get off to a bad start when Miyuki busts Natsumi for reckless moped driving on her way to work. Things get worse when they find out they're going to be partners. A continuation of the OVA series. Well, that happens again? Because that was how the OVA series started. A continuation of the OVA series, The Adventures of Tokyo Policewoman Natsumi and Miyuki, continue You're Under Arrest TV series. It's back to Bokuto Precinct, where demented felons and bashful but hunky policemen abound, and where the cutest girl in the office isn't a girl. Obviously, I'll watch that at some point. Saber Marionette J. In the distant future, since Earth has become overpopulated, efforts to find and colonize other planets have begun. However, one of the ships, Mesopotamia, malfunctions, and all but 6 of the inhabitants are killed. The remaining 6 manage to escape to a nearby planet named Terra 2, which is similar to Earth in many respects. However, all of them are male. Therefore, as to not let their efforts go to waste, they begin to set up 6 countries to reproduce through cloning and genetic engineering. However, there's still no women, and to make up for it, they create lifelike, advanced female androids called marionettes, which do everyday chores and work. However, they are all emotionless machines. But one day, an ordinary boy named Otaru finds and awakens 3 special battle-type marionettes that have emotions due to maiden circuit within them. It's up to him to teach them and allow their emotions to grow, and when a nearby country threatens with world domination, it's up to Otaru and his human marionettes to protect their country. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Alright, Elf. Elf wo Karu Monotachi, those who hunt elves. Loudmouth martial artist Junpei Ryuzoji. elegant actress Airi Komiyama and cheery but artillery-obsessed student Ritsuko Inoue all find themselves transported from their homeland of Japan to an unfamiliar magical world when the elven priestess Kelsia, it could be Kelkia, Mira Claire casts the spell to send them home. She is interrupted, and the spell is broken into parts that scatter throughout the world. The spell fragments imprint themselves onto the skin of various elves. The trio travel in Ritsuko's tank, searching for elves who carry the spell fragments so that Kelkia can transfer them to her own body and make the spell whole again. As they adventure, people begin to refer to them as those who hunt elves, gaining reputation as warriors that put a stop to evildoers with their miraculous cannon, terrifying elves by stripping any that they find. Though they're not the smartest group, they make up for it with enthusiasm and their strong determination to get back to Japan. Where the fuck did the tank come from then? Inaki Ko Remi Sans Famiglie, whatever, I don't know, fuck you, I don't speak, I'm assuming Italian. Remy, a cheerful and tender-hearted girl, lives with her mother and a friend, whatever, I don't speak French, fuck you. One day, her family returns to the town after a long period working away from home in a city. Her father tells Remy that she isn't the real daughter, and Remy is almost sold to an evil slave trader. It is Vitalis, a strolling entertainer, who helps Remy. Vitalis discovers her talent for singing and decides to take her with her in his troupe. This is for someone, and this is not for me, but this was for someone. Okay, Hamlin, no violin, Hiki. Violinist of Hamlin. Trouble arises in Staccato. One day, demons show up and start to wreak havoc on the sounds people. The entire country seems to be suffering. The source of the problem is that barrier, which until now has kept the demons from crossing over to the human world, is weakening. The person who sustains it is losing her strength after holding it up for so many years. That person is the Queen of Horn, Sofronzando. Hell King Bass is trying to break through the barrier and release their supreme leader, Orchestra. Thanks for fucking saying that. One whose power is unparalleled, yet is trapped somewhere in the world of the humans. I have, vaguely heard of this. It doesn't sound very good, if I'm being honest with you, so I think I might just skip it on that principle. Choja Raiden. Could be Raiden. Could be Raiden. I don't know. Hisho, Ginga, Ace, Hayate, and Ikazuchi all work at a studio doing various idol-related jobs at the request of their manager, Reiko. But in reality, these 5 teenagers are really Raidens, a group of superheroes who fight super devils sent by Lushu, mysterious being. Little do the Raidens know these super devils are being sent for a more important purpose. Yeah, this sounds like a Super Sentai series, is what this sounds. This sounds Super Sentai as shit. It almost looks Super Robo, but this is basically just giant robots that they're all... So I'm going Super Sentai. Can it be both Super Robo and Super Sentai? But this looks too violent for Super Robo. So it looks like a Super Robo Super Sentai... It's a Super Robo Super Sentai military show is what I'm getting. Maybe, right? Am I crazy if I say this sounds vaguely interesting? Oh, this is based off of something that came out in 1995. Oh, no, it really is. It really is Super Robo. Wow, it really is Super Robo. Okay, never mind. It almost had me for half a second, and then I realized. We've got Yacht, Anshin, Uchu, Ryoko. The emergence of the dimensional tunnel sets the background for a new space era in which space traveling can be designated to planets outside the solar system. Hoshiwatari Goro is a space traveler. That's a fun name. Hoshiwatari Goro is a space traveler who goes in search of his father, whose whereabouts are shrouded with obscurity. His only link to his father is an old photograph. In order to attain his goal, Goro participates in a young space traveling company known as YAT, which organizes tours to different planets. However, in the midst of his journey, he was involved in an accident which resulted in the destruction of the spaceship. As a form of compensation, he had to work for Yat in his sparks off a train of space adventures for him. Good for him. I will be passing, but good for him. This is Kiko-chan Smile, which I think I've heard of for some reason. Kiko-chan Smile is an anime and manga based on a kindergarten student who has many features of a child prodigy, but at the same time has many bizarre habits and an unpersonality. I don't know why I have heard of this, but I have heard of this. For some reason, I was aware of the existence of this. 25-minute episode Josei. Wow, interesting. Adventure, comedy, and slice of life. Well, mom anime. Unhappy lolis. Mom anime. An anime with Latin and Spanish dubs that doesn't have English parts. Okay, well, moving on. Oh. Alright. Legend of the Galactic Hero, the Gundam anime that breaks Gundam lore, and Angel Densetsu. Excuse me. When Seikichi Kuroda, self-proclaimed guardian and head thug of Heikiku High School, hears rumors of first-year transfer student named Seiichiro Kitano terrorizing his entire class. Seikichi tries to intimidate him through authority. However, things go awry when he witnesses something horrifying. Seiichiro has a face so dreadful and haunting that even Seikichi hurries away in fear. This is a plot I have heard a million times. But despite his menacing appearance, Seiichiro has a heart of gold, inhabited by his poor communication skills and fear-inducing looks. He has never managed to convey his true self to his terrified peers, resulting in his lifelong ostracization. Now, the new guardian, Seiichiro, discovers that sometimes friends can be found in the most unlikely places and through most unusual circumstances. I know about this because I know about the manga. I think probably because it ran in Shonen Jump. So I mostly know about this because of the manga. For once, I know why I have heard of something. Fushigi Yugi OVA. Check this out. Mysterious Play OVA. Fuck, that is a lot of text, my dog. That is so much text. Alright, having concluded their adventure inside the mystical book, the Universe of the Four Gods, Miyaka, Yuki, and Yui Hongo resume their ordinary lives with one exception. Upon returning to the real world, Miyaka is permitted to bring her beloved Tamahome along with her. Unfortunately, shortly afterward, new troubles threaten the couple's hard-earned happiness during a visit to the graves of the other two girls who had traveled inside the Universe of the Four Gods. Fucking spoilers! Tamahome is engulfed by a red light and disappears right before Miyaka's eyes. Witnessing the puzzling incident, her brother Kisuke and his best friend Tetsuya Kajiwara resolved to help the heartbroken Miyaka find her boyfriend again. Meanwhile, Tamahome has been brought back into the book only to discover that 50 years have passed since his departure. To his surprise, he learns that he has now switched identities with his former enemy, Nakago. Will the two lovers triumph over these adversities to reunite once more, or are they doomed to remain separated forever? Fushigi Yugi, Otsukara, Ion, Bus, Ryoko, Kindan no Josei Onsenhen. The celestial warrior gods of Suzaku and Seiryu, alongside their priestesses Miyaka, Yuki, and Yui Hongo, are granted a bus trip to a special hot spring resort to enjoy leisure time. Despite the extensive journey, the lively party spices up the experience by playing mischievous tricks on each other, completely unaware of the surprises awaiting them at their destination. Fushigi Yugi OVA received 2 DVD releases in Japan from Bandai Namco Arts, formerly known as Bandai Visuals. The first was released on October 25th, 1996, with the second being released on August 25th, 2002. Between the two, on June 5th, 2001, a DVD combo set entitled Fushigi Yugi The Mysterious Play OVA was made available by Ganon Entertainment, bundling the first OVA together with Fushigi Yugi Dai Nibu. The set, presently out of print, includes additional content such as English and Japanese language tracks, an image gallery, and a brochure with supplementary information and pictures. Ganon Entertainment has also made available as an English-dubbed version of Fushigi Yugi OVA that aired on international channels starting December 30th, 2003. Woo! Alright, we have Kakago no Susume. Apocalypse Zero. This monster has tits and a bra, just putting that out there. A series of natural disasters has reduced the world to rubble, with survivors doing whatever they must to survive in the world gone mad. But one young boy, Kakago, gifted with amazing martial arts and super powerful suit of armor by his late father, is charged with making the world, or at least his school, a safer place. But his sister has a matching set of skills and equipment, and she's on a mission to bring peace to the world by wiping out humanity. I assume this is the sister. She could look less evil, frankly. Alright. By Shoujo Senshi Sailor Moon Sailor Stars Hero Club. This is a compilation of the Sailor Stars with added narration. I did not watch this. Because it's fucking 90 minutes. And I've already seen everything, so there's no reason to do that. Bakuratsu Hunters OVA came out in 1996. This is Sorcerer Hunters. This is, of course, the sequel to Bakuratsu Hunters, which came out in 1995 and I already have marked down. The Sorcerer Hunters brothers, Carrot and Marin Glass, sisters Tira and Chocolate Misu, and warrior Gato Mocha, I get it, they're dessert puns, decide to take a break from their travels, planning to stop by a hot spring resort to visit a local village festival. However, their hopes with a simple vacation are dashed by the appearance of a troublesome sorcerer. Throughout the group's escapades, Carrot's attempts to finding a woman to love are as desperate as ever. Chocolate and Tira make his search no easier, persistently thwarting his efforts with their aggressive displays of affection. Meanwhile, Mocha teaches his little sister how to do proper bodybuilding, and Marin does his best to remain pure amid the never-ending chaos. We have Master Mosqueton. Master of Mosqueton. I love how the English title is just the original name, but with the word up. In the 1920s, Inaho resurrects a vampire named Mosqueton with her blood. He awakens and becomes her slave. Now, Inaho is after the O part, which will grant her immortality. However, a bunch of supernatural monsters are out to stop them from achieving the goal. I'm gonna be honest, this sounds fucking terrible, but the art style looks kind of fun, actually. Volumes 2 through 4, Catholic schoolgirl Anyaho discovers a vampire Mosqueton is feeding off her classmates, so she stakes him, but he is revived after her blood comes in contact with his remains. Mosqueton becomes her slave and also a history teacher. Excuse me. Together, along with Yuki and Hono, the unlikely duo have many escapades and adventures. One of Inaho's main goals is to find the mythical part to make some money. Huh. There's also an anime that came out in 1999, which is, it looks like the second part of the manga. The art style looks really good, is actually the big part about it. And it's got a pretty solid character design. You know what? I'll check it out. I like how this person's review says it's a short OVA. It's fucking 27 minutes at fucking 6 episodes. That's not a short OVA. That's a long OVA. I mean, it's not like Legend of the Galactic Hero, but it's fucking long as shit for an OVA. Ai Tenshi Densetsu Wedding Peach DX, or Wedding Peach DX. The 1996-1997 anime OVAs of Ai Tenshi Densetsu Wedding Peach, also known as Ai Tenshi Densetsu Wedding Peach DX Deluxe. These 4 OVAs were uniquely designed and scripted, and the art style had been changed significantly from the original series as well. Each of these OVAs feature one of the Ai Tenshi along with a season. Wedding Peach Summer, Angel Salvia Autumn, Angel Daisy Winter, Angel Lily Spring. They are, however, in no way related to each other except for some indication of the previous OVAs by Hina Giku and Yuri. These are the adventures of the 4 Ai Tenshi 2 years after their battle with Reina Devila. Did I actually mark down Wedding Peach? I did not, so moving on, I guess. Legend of Crystania. It's an interesting poster, I'll say that. Dreams begin to haunt Lady Shiru, dreams of her past as a pirouettess, her love, Ashram, is being tormented at the hands of the soul of Barbas as their former king Beld of Mermo. It's just a string of words. Interpreting this as a plea for help, Shiro searches for a way to save him by entering the Chaos Realm using the Chaos Ring. Meanwhile, Red Dawn and his friends are called to arms again as ancient creatures begin to appear after being sealed away for centuries. Both of their paths will cross again, and their soldiers will the fate of Christania lie. Did I mark down the original Christania? I did mark down the original Christania in 1995, so I don't need to worry about this at all. Because it's a really interesting poster, if I'm being honest with you. It was like, why the little dark elf lady crying, you know? Alright, we have Variable Geo. What do we got? Variable Geo. I gotta be honest, just by the poster, I'm in. The special day of Variable Geo is a brutal battle between... Okay, phone! Brutal battle between waitresses who serve up generous portions of energy blasts and vicious sides of murderous martial artistry for buffed beauties who make below minimum wages. VG is a perfect way to make some fast cash. The victorious walk away with millions and the defeated lose everything, namely all their clothes. But this high-stakes sport has dark forces and dubious practices behind the fun and games. Lethal injections make steroids seem like vitamins. Instead of a team player, there's demonic possession. Athletic sponsors are malevolent corporations with more frightening agenda than an increased market share, and it's all part of the game. This sounds like another anime I have watched. What was it called? It was called like Heart something? No. Yes! Yes! Platonic Heart. Master of Martial Arts. It sounds like Master of Martial Arts. Yeah, I'll watch this. This sounds good. I'm gonna watch it. Sounds like my kind of show. What do we got? We have Kotetsu no Daiboken. The Adventures of Kotetsu. While walking through the streets of Tokyo, Lin Suzuki comes across a strange device sticking up from the sidewalk. Suddenly, she is set upon by thugs and is helped by a beautiful stranger who takes them all down. It seems young Lin has fled deep Kyoto from her cruel mistress and has traveled to Edo, where she hopes to... Goddamn, Edo. Okay, interesting. Where she hopes to find her long-lost brother, who has last seen working for the Kuon detective agency. By chance, the stranger seems to be Miho Kuon, who lets Lin stay with her, nicknaming her Kotetsu, or Little Tetsu, after her brother Tetsujin. However, a mysterious agency called the Syndicate, or after Miho and Lin, is now in the thick of things. This sounds vaguely interesting. It's also a romance series, which is always a plus. Apparently the original was a hentai. Sure. I'll check this out. This sounds kind of interesting. I don't know what Project Team Sarah is, though. The only thing I think I've even remotely heard of is Rhythm. Which we'll get to, I guess, in 1998. Panzer Dragoon. Legends speak of a dark tower with a race of dragons that await a command to rise and wreak havoc. At least Kyle used to his name's Kyle. At least Kyle used to believe they were only legends until his lady Alita is stolen by the Black Dragon. Now Kyle must form an alliance with Blue, a blue dragon, in order to rescue her before she becomes the catalyst for the Dark Tower's final program, the complete destruction of the world. This is rocking an astounding 3.31. That is amazing. This is basically based on a game called Panzer Dragoon. Which, let's check that out real quick. Originally came out in 1995. This was graphics from 1995? Holy shit, what was this on? This has to be from a... What was this on? This got a Switch remake? What the fuck? The Sega Saturn? This was the graphics of the Sega Saturn? God, what? Holy shit, dude! That is fucking crazy. if the Saturn was outputting that in fucking 95, man, that fucking $100 difference with that fucking Nintendo console really did. It really did a number on him, didn't it? Damn. Oh, it was also ported to the PS2. Okay, this has to be the PS2 version. I refuse. That has to be the PS2 version, right? That cannot possibly be the Saturn version. Well, I will never play this fucking game ever. But I think it's 26 minutes. You know what? I do want to watch this, though. I do want to watch this. Moving on. Ginga Ojo-sama Densetsu Yuna Shinin no Fairy. Or Galaxy Fraulein Yuna returns. Just when everything seems peaceful again for Yuna and her friends, a new enemy appears. In the form of 3 robotic sisters, Yuna must once again become the savior of light to fight this strong new evil. This is a sequel to something I added to my list in 95, apparently. Homa Hunter Lime. Jewel Beam Hunter Lime. For centuries, the magic and humans of worlds have been at peace with each other, though physically separated by a magical gate. But when the powerful magic spheres are stolen and fall to Earth below, the King of Magic sends Boss, a fighter, Lime, a master transformer, and Pogi, a master morpher, to retrieve them. With not much time, the trio must retrieve the spheres, which, when in contact with the human world, suck up negative emotions of household objects and become Bem's big-eyed monsters. Sure. Moving on to Golf Force the Revolution, which is an alternate version of Golf Force 1, which I don't know if I ever decided to watch or not. I did. Alright, Golf Force Revolution, East Force meets West Force, and all hell breaks loose. The Solenoids, that lovable race of female warriors, are at it again, fighting amongst themselves. During a heated battle, however, it looks like the leaders of the two factions have hung their warriors out to dry. In the middle of all this fighting and chaos, East Force detects a transmission from an unidentified planet. The Golf Force gals leave their posts to go. Luffy, the West Force's ace pilot who is after Rabi, follows them to the planet. Sure. Why not? What else we got? We got Ten Shunin Dayo Chibi Maruka-chan. Somehow related to a TV version of a show that came out in 1990. I decided not to watch. All right, what do we got? Movies. We're almost done, aren't we? Yeah, we're almost done. Fucking thank you. We got Blackjack the movie. Joe Carroll Brain attempts to hire Dr. Blackjack on a breed of superhumans that have the strength, intellectual, athletic, and artistic skills with great excel in different fields, only to later find out that they start deteriorating after some period of time and causing an untimely death. Joe needs Dr. Blackjack's help on finding a cure. Blackjack, the movie, won Best Animated Film in the Mianchi Film Concours in 1996. So apparently, not a bad movie, I guess. Did I add the original Blackjack? No, didn't do that. Did I add Young Blackjack? No. Blackjack's pretty famous, actually. I'm almost surprised I didn't add it. Like, I'm almost surprised I didn't add any Blackjack at all, just on principle. Oh my god, it's because it's 50-minute episodes and fucking 12... 12 episodes of 50 minutes. Fuck it. I'm gonna add it. Not the movie, but the original Blackjack. I feel like I'm obligated to watch every classic. That sounds even remotely interesting. Oh, but that involves watching Harlock. Ugh. Anyway, Ihatov Genso Kenji Noharu, Springing Chaos, a unique biographical sketch of the life of the great modern Japanese poet Kenji Miyazawa. Springing Chaos is highly stylized and intense film that draws on Miyazawa's writing techniques to tell his life story. Miyazawa often used animals as main characters in his stories and poems, and it is this technique that allows director Shoji Kawamori to recreate Miyazawa's fanciful land of Ihatov, and use it as a background for Miyazawa's life. Beautiful and affecting Springing Chaos is a fitting tribute to one of Japan's greatest writers. Sounds lovely. We'll be skipping, but sounds like a lovely tribute piece. Shin Kamagura Orange Road, Soshite Ano Natsu no Hajimari. In 1990, it's a shame Maid's not here. She can fucking tell me whether this is one of the good ones or not. Wait, hold up. Yes. In 1994, Kyosuke Kasugo is a war photographer covering the Bosnian War. However, in 1991, he was still an awkward college student, struggling to be at ease in his relationship with Medoko Ayakawa. When Kyosuke is hit by a car in 1991, his soul becomes entangled with the soul of his future self. Struggling to understand the changes of the past 3 years, Kyosuke runs into Hikaru Hiyama, who has become a beautiful Broadway performer. As he tries to comprehend the feelings of the women in his life, Kyosuke must find a way back to the time where he belongs. Shin Kamagura Orange Road Soshute Anonatsu no Hajimari was released in DVD as New Kamagura Orange Road Summer's Beginning by ADV Films on August 21st, 2001. I guess this is the end of the timeline, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like the end of the timeline. Close! Fuck! Alright, what do we got? We have Kindaichi Shonen no Jinkenbo Movie 1, Opera Zakan, Aratanaru Satsujin. Invited for the anniversary celebration, Kindachi Miyuki and Inspector Kinomochi revisit the opera house where they discover that a play of the Phantom of the Opera is being rehearsed again. However, it doesn't take long when he remembers the acting troupe are killed by the Phantom. Kindachi will once again have to solve a murder series in the opera house. Once again? Why does it keep happening? Alright. Well, moving on, I guess. What is this a fucking adaptation of? This is... Whatever this is fucking weird as shit and confusing. Alright. Alice in Cyberland. When criminal cyber anarchists appear in Cyberland, the vast 21st century computer networks, the far future of the 21st century. Alice, Miss Katnick, Lena, and Julie are drawn in by mysterious Lucia to become a fighting force of young soldiers in Cyberland to combat the criminal element. Fun. This is apparently based on a game, but there's also a manga. I really like the manga. Really like the manga art style, actually. This was done by Daisuke Moriyama, who did Chrono Crusade and World Embryo. Yo, that's... I might... Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. I was mostly just attracted to the art style. I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna be like, I could tell. I knew I'd seen it. No, I had no fucking clue. What is this? Morning Bride? Story centers on four brothers, the Costarina Mafia family, oldest son, the second son, whatever, the blah, blah, blah. The brothers respond to a call from the grandfather to gather him. When they arrive, siblings learn the grandfather's death. They say that Marika, their grandfather's fiancé, will choose the successor to receive the inheritance. Huh. Okay, interesting. Chrono Crusade. Oh, actually, while we're here, did fucking World Embryo ever finish? Yes. Okay. Chrono Crusade. Ow! I fell down the stairs and I cut myself and I scratched my cut. 1920 was a decade of great change and upheaval, monstrous demons appearing across America to combat this. And then as the holy organization known as the Order of Magdalene was established, the organization's New York branch is home to the young and reckless Sister Rosette Christopher, as well as her partner, Chrono. Tasked with the extermination of demonic threats, the renowned team is excellent at their jobs, despite causing extensive collateral damage on their missions. However, both Rosette and Chrono are driven by their dark past. So exterminating demons, Rosette hopes to find her lost brother Joshua, who is taken by the sinner and demon Ion, in whom Chrono also shares a bloody history. The two of them must fight off increasingly dangerous demonic menace and discover its true source while continuing to search for the truth behind Joshua's disappearance. Yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds interesting. What's he up to lately? Nothing. Wait, no, manga. Adaptation of Unlimited Blade Works, it looks like. And this. Alright, what do we got? We've got a Gundam thing. We have Kido Senshi Gundam Uchuseki Yowa. Brief background information about the 1 Year War as told by a narrator to fill in some gaps for new viewers of the franchise. No thanks. I know all about the 1 Year War. Alright, moving on. We have Bakuso Kyodai Let's and Go Special. And this is the last one we have. Some sort of special for Byakko Kyotso Let's Go, which came out in winter of 1996, so I already read it. We're done! We are done. How long did that take? Hour 20? Not terrible. Yeah, so we're getting into the part where we might have to start splitting years into halves at this point. If it takes an hour 20 to do 2 halves of a year, we might need to start splitting shit in half. I think until we get to the 2000s, I might do 2 back-to-back streams to get through the year. But once we get to the part where we have to do a stream, we have to do a season per stream, that's the part where we're going to have to start going season by season. So my goal is to get at least to the year 2000 before we start having to break down into seasons. But in the meantime, it looks like we're picking up next time with 19... Why would that be the bookmark picture? Looks like we're picking up with the year 1997. Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, everyone. I don't think a single person stopped by. And you know what? Good. Good. I'm proud of you for having better things to do with your life than watch this crap. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you're enjoying your... What is this? This is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. But yeah, until next time, I have been Sacrabolic, your envoy of hope. And this has been The Worst Show I Make, SACing Mal Eternal, 1997. See you next time. Bye-bye.